Okay, so let's look at number 4. Number 4 is a horrible looking problem, but it's once you see it, it's not all that bad. Okay, so you did the right thing in taking out this quantity that repeats itself. And when we pull that quantity out to the front of all of this, we can think of this is going to be out in the front. So we're going to have, oh, let me see if I can get rid of this stuff that's kind of hanging out here. So we're pulling out this 5x squared minus 3 to the 4th, since it's common to every single one of these terms here. So we can kind of think of this as being pulled to the front. It's no longer in there. So what we've got left is a 12x squared, a minus 35x, and a plus 25. Okay, so inside here, we need to continue to factor what's inside. And if we think about factors of 12, we could use 2 and 6, we could use 3 and 4, and we could use 1 and 12. It's not likely to be the 1 and 12, so let's try one of these other two options first. I'm going to try the 3 and the 4 because it's wise to often use things that are close together. So I'm going to do 3x and 4x to give me 12x squared. All right, now factors of 25, really there's not a whole lot of choice there. It's either 5 and 5 or 1 and 25, but because we have a negative in the middle here, it tells me that these factors need to be negative. All right, so let's try the negative 5 and negative 5 because it won't make any sense really to choose something as big as the 1 and 25. So let's try negative 5 and negative 5. Now to see if we've got the proper thing in our factors, we got to check. We check the inside multiplication. Negative 5 times 4x is negative 20x. And we check the outside multiplication. 3x times negative 5 is negative 15x. And together, we want those two to add up to negative 35x, and they do. So this is the proper answer. So you needed the 5x squared minus 3 to the 4th right here in the parentheses in this first box, which you had. But then you needed this in your second two boxes. So what you needed was a 3 right here. And then it has an x already, so we don't have to write the x. And then a minus 5 right here in this box. And then you needed a 4 right here. And the x, of course, is already there. And then a minus 5 in this box right here. So it was your second part that was factored incorrectly. And of course, also, if you'd had the 3x minus 5 here and the 4x minus 5 in this part right here, that would also have been correct because we can multiply those two quantities out of order. All right, now I'm going to, I think I have time on this video to go down to number 9, and then we'll get 13 and 14 in a separate video. So let's look at number 9. Okay, so we have to solve this by factoring, and it looks like you've got some solutions there. Let's just check it out and see. All right, now first of all, let's notice we have an x to the third, and every single one of these terms has an x in it. So we definitely want to take out an x, and let's also notice that they are all divisible by 2. Now I like to have a positive x squared when I get ready to factor the x squared portion of the problem. So I'm going to factor out a negative 2 instead so that this becomes a positive term on the inside. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to factor out a negative 2x. And when I do that, negative 2 into negative 2 makes that a positive 1. And the x to the third minus the x to the first leaves a positive 1, x squared right there. And then negative 2 into the 3 will be a negative 3. And the 2 minus the 1 I took out leaves us just an x. And then the negative 2 into the negative 4 is a positive 2, and the x is actually already out. All right, then we want to further factor this, and I'll just bring the negative 2x down. So the only factors that will multiply to give us x squared will be x and x. And then I need factors of 2 that add to negative 3. And the only thing that will work there will be a negative 1 times a negative 2. That will give me a negative 3. So I need negative 1 and negative 2. Now, let's not forget that this is an equation. So we want to take each one of these factors and set them to 0. And solve them. So this one, if we divide by negative 2, it's going to give us 0 still. So our first solution is 0, and I see that you got that one. And this one, it's going to give us a positive 1. And then this one, it's going to give us a positive 2. Now it looks like you've got 2 of the factors correct, or 2 of the solutions correct, but you didn't get this x equals 1, which is why it's only giving you partial credit there. All right, now I'm going to stop this and let this one render and make another video for 13 and 14.